Alex had always been curious about the stars. While other humans spent their time in cities or on entertainment, he preferred the quiet hum of spacecraft engines and the uncharted territories of distant planets. Today, he was not alone in his exploration. His mission was simple: survey a recently discovered planet in the outer rim of the galaxy, known only as Varelia. The planet was dense with forests, its trees glowing faintly with bioluminescent light under the pale sun. Rumors whispered of ruins scattered across its surface, ancient structures that predated even the oldest galactic records. The shuttle he piloted landed on a flat clearing surrounded by tall, twisted trees. Alex stepped out, feeling the crisp air brush against his skin. Every breath he took carried a mixture of earthy scent and something else he could not identify. He adjusted his backpack, checked his scanning device, and began walking toward a cluster of ruins in the distance. The ground was soft under his boots, almost like moss, and the faint hum of insects created a natural symphony. The ruins were made of black stone that shimmered faintly under the sun. They were shaped like towers and arches, worn smooth by centuries, yet they held an imposing presence. Alex ran his hands over one of the stones, feeling a strange vibration, as if the structure itself had a heartbeat. His heart beat faster too, not from fear, but from excitement. This was what he had dreamed of. As he explored, he noticed a shadow move among the ruins. It was too deliberate to be an animal. Alex paused, instinctively reaching for his scanner, but the device remained quiet. He squinted and saw a figure stepping out from behind a broken arch. She was tall, taller than most humans, with long dark hair that seemed to shimmer with its own light. Her skin was pale, almost luminescent, and her eyes glowed faintly red. Alex froze. He had seen pictures of alien species, read reports, but nothing like this. The woman's presence was powerful. She did not move like a predator at first glance. Yet there was something in her posture that suggested she could strike with deadly precision. "You are far from home," she said in a voice that was melodic, yet commanding. Alex jumped slightly, realizing she spoke his language perfectly. "Yes," Alex replied, trying to sound confident, though his mind raced. "I am here to explore the ruins. My name is Alex." The woman tilted her head, studying him. Her eyes glowed brighter for a moment, as if she could see more than just his physical form. "I am Nira," she said. "You should not be here." Alex swallowed. "Why not?" Nira stepped closer, her movements fluid and careful. "This place is dangerous for your kind. Many have come before and failed. Humans are fragile in ways they do not understand." Alex felt a shiver run down his spine, not from fear but from fascination. He had read about alien civilizations, but never had he imagined meeting one so close and in such an isolated place. "I am careful," he said. "I study, I observe. I do not hunt or fight." Nira's eyes softened slightly. "Curiosity can be both a gift and a curse," she said. She glanced at the ruins behind her. "These stones are old. They are older than your history, older than the first stars of your galaxy. They contain memories of those who lived and died here. You may learn, but you may also awaken forces that are beyond your comprehension." Alex felt his heart race faster. The thrill of discovery surged through him. "I am ready," he said, and he meant it. Nira studied him silently for a few moments, then nodded. "Perhaps," she said. "Follow me. But stay close. The forest does not welcome strangers lightly." Alex followed. The forest was alive in a way that felt almost sentient. Trees seemed to lean slightly as they passed, their bioluminescent leaves glowing brighter where Nira stepped. Strange creatures scuttled in the undergrowth, but none approached. Nira moved like she belonged, stepping lightly, never disturbing a branch or leaf. "Why are you helping me?" Alex asked, curiosity overcoming his caution. Nira glanced at him. "I am curious about humans," she said. "Most I encounter are afraid, or foolish, or both. You are neither, yet you are reckless in ways you do not realize. That makes you interesting." Alex smiled slightly. "Interesting can be good or bad." "Mostly bad," Nira said, her lips curling into a small, sharp smile. "But that can change." They reached a small clearing where a natural spring bubbled from the ground. The water was clear, but it reflected not only their images but something deeper, like it could show thoughts or emotions. Nira knelt and touched the surface, her fingers causing ripples that glowed faintly. "You can see a lot in water," she said. "Emotions, intentions, truths you try to hide. Humans usually fail to hide much." Alex knelt beside her, dipping his hands into the cool water. He felt a strange calmness, as if the water had a mind of its own and was judging him kindly. "And what do you see in me?" he asked, half joking, half serious. Nira looked at him with her glowing eyes. "You are not entirely human in your spirit. You seek understanding, but you also crave danger. You are drawn to the wrong people, the wrong places, but perhaps that is how you will survive. Most humans would already be dead here." Alex chuckled softly. "I guess I am lucky then." "You're reckless," Nira said, standing again. "And lucky. Those are not traits that last long together. Do not misunderstand me. You will face trials that will test your mind, your body, and your heart. You may not survive all of them." Alex looked at her, intrigued rather than afraid. "And if I don't survive?" "Then your curiosity will be buried in the ruins," Nira said, gesturing toward the stones behind her. "And the planet will forget you, as it has forgotten others." Alex stood, brushing off his pants. "I do not intend to be forgotten," he said simply. His words felt honest, and Nira's expression softened, as if she understood more than words could express. They continued through the forest, deeper into areas where the light from the sun barely reached. Strange plants glowed in patterns that seemed almost like writing, and alien insects with translucent wings buzzed around, emitting soft pulses of light. Alex's scanner went off occasionally, but the readings were unusual. Materials, energies, and traces of life that he had never encountered before appeared on his screen. "Do you see this?" he asked Nira, pointing to a cluster of glowing plants. She examined them carefully. "These are memory plants. They store the experiences of those who touch them, not just physically, but emotionally. Be careful. Some memories are painful, some are dangerous. Curiosity is not enough to survive them. You must have respect." Alex nodded, his fascination growing. "I will be careful," he said. "Humans always say that," Nira said, her voice calm but firm. "Few actually are." They reached a part of the ruins where the ground opened into a natural cave. Stalactites hung like sharp teeth from the ceiling, and the walls glowed faintly with alien minerals. Nira paused at the entrance. "This is where it begins," she said. "Beyond this point, you are not only exploring, you are being tested. The planet will decide if you are worthy to witness its secrets. Many fail. You may too." Alex felt a thrill run through him. "I am ready," he said again. There was no fear in his voice, only excitement and determination. Nira studied him for a long moment. Then she nodded, stepping aside to let him enter first. The cave was dark at first, but faint glowing crystals revealed intricate carvings on the walls. They depicted beings of many shapes, some humanoid, some not. Scenes of battles, celebrations, and strange rituals played across the stone surfaces like a silent story. Alex's eyes widened. "This is incredible," he whispered. Nira's eyes glowed softly in the dim light. "It is, but remember, not all stories have happy endings. Many who walked these paths before you sought glory. Most found only danger and despair. The planet tests not just your courage, but your mind and your spirit." Alex felt a strange sense of calm despite the warning. Something about Nira made him feel confident, as if he could face whatever the planet threw at him. He did not know her well, but he trusted her presence. For the first time in his life, Alex felt that discovery was not just about knowledge or adventure. It was about connection. And he could not deny a strange pull toward the alien woman who had warned him, guided him, and challenged him in ways he had never imagined. As they moved deeper into the cave, the air grew cooler, and the glow from the crystals revealed deeper passages and hidden chambers. Alex realized that this planet held secrets far beyond simple ruins. It held stories, challenges, and beings unlike any he had encountered. And at the center of this journey was Nira, The alien vampire woman who had warned him he was drawn to the wrong people, and yet now stood beside him as his guide. Alex smiled to himself. He knew the adventure ahead would change him forever. For now, he was ready to step further into the unknown. The deeper Alex and Nira moved into the cave, the more the light from the crystals revealed the mysteries hidden within. The walls were carved with images that seemed to tell stories. It's not just of the planet's history, but of emotions, conflicts, and victories of those who had once walked its surface. Each scene was alive in its own way, glowing faintly and shifting as if the carvings were reacting to their presence. Alex ran his hands over one of the carvings, a depiction of a great battle between creatures with wings and humans. He felt a strange warmth where his fingers touched, as if the carvings themselves were recognizing him. "These are incredible," he said. "I've never seen anything like this." Nira moved silently beside him, her eyes glowing faintly. "Most do not understand them," she said. "The carvings are not just history. They are warnings. This planet remembers the past. It remembers the emotions, the intentions, and the mistakes of those who walked here. You must be careful. Curiosity alone will not save you." Alex nodded. He felt a thrill of excitement, but also a creeping sense of caution. "I understand," he said. "I will pay attention." They continued deeper, entering a chamber where the crystals glowed brighter. The air was cooler, and a faint hum seemed to resonate from the walls themselves. Alex felt it in his chest, a vibration that made his heart beat faster. Nira stopped in the center of the room and turned to face him. "This is where most humans fail," she said. "They are drawn by curiosity and greed. They touch what should not be touched. They seek what should not be sought. Emotions make them weak. Fear, desire, pride. You must control yours if you wish to survive." Alex looked around, noticing a faint outline of a doorway at the far end of the chamber. Strange symbols glowed around it, shifting slowly. "And if I fail?" he asked, trying not to sound afraid. "Failure is not always death," Nira said. "Sometimes it is worse. Pain, confusion, or loss of purpose. The planet teaches harsh lessons to those who cannot adapt." Alex swallowed. He had faced danger before, but the weight of her words made him realize this journey was unlike any he had undertaken. It was not only about survival or discovery, it was about understanding the rules of a world that did not bend for humans. They moved toward the doorway, and Alex noticed subtle changes in the atmosphere. The air felt heavier, charged with energy that made his skin tingle. Nira paused, placing her hand on a symbol etched into the wall. The symbol pulsed, and a low hum filled the chamber. "Energy here is alive," Nira said. "It responds to emotions and intentions. It can heal, but it can also harm. You must keep your thoughts clear. The wrong emotion can awaken dangers you cannot fight." Alex nodded, feeling the weight of her warning. He took a deep breath and tried to calm his mind, focusing only on the present moment. Nira moved ahead, gliding toward the doorway as if she belonged to the shadows themselves. The doorway led to a narrow passage, and as they walked through it, Alex noticed the carvings changed. Scenes of friendship, courage, and sacrifice appeared on the walls. They seemed less threatening, but they carried a different kind of weight. He could almost feel the emotions of those depicted, their joys and sorrows. "These are memories of those who survived," Nira said, her voice soft. "They learned respect, patience, and courage. They faced danger not with strength alone, but with understanding. That is what this planet values." Alex felt a sense of awe. The idea that a planet could respond to emotions and intentions was extraordinary. He had read about life forms that adapted to their environment, but this was different. The planet itself seemed alive, a consciousness that could teach or punish. As they walked, Nira suddenly stopped. Alex almost ran into her. She turned, her glowing eyes scanning the passage. "Do you feel that?" she asked. Alex paused, closing his eyes. At first, he felt nothing unusual, but then a faint pressure, like a gentle push against his mind, reached him. It was subtle, but it made his thoughts wander, and a small sense of unease crept in. "It is testing us," Nira said. The passage senses our intentions. It will reveal weakness if we allow it. Focus, Alex. Do not let it disturb your mind. Alex concentrated, trying to calm his racing thoughts. Slowly, the pressure eased, and he opened his eyes. The passage ahead seemed clearer, the carvings glowing steadily rather than flickering. You did well, Nira said, her expression unreadable. Many would have faltered. Curiosity often turns to fear when one is tested. Alex smiled. I am learning quickly, he said. Learning is not enough, Nira replied. Understanding is what matters. You must comprehend not only what you see, but what it means. The planet is not kind to those who fail to understand its lessons. They entered a larger chamber where the ceiling opened to a faint light from above. Strange plants grew along the walls, their leaves glowing in patterns that seemed almost like writing. Alex knelt to examine one of the plants. Its surface was soft, almost like silk, and he felt a strange warmth when he touched it. These are memory plants, Nira said. They absorb experiences. Touch them carefully. They can show visions of the past, but they also store emotions. Many who see too much are overwhelmed by what they feel. Alex looked at her with curiosity. Can you see them? Nira placed her hand lightly on one of the glowing leaves. Images flickered in the air, showing beings of different shapes and sizes. Alex watched as scenes of exploration, discovery, and conflict played before him. The images were vivid, almost lifelike, and he felt a faint pull at his own memories, as if the plants were drawing him into the experiences they stored. Do you see? Nira asked. They hold lessons, pain, courage, mistakes, and triumphs. Learn from them, but do not let them control you. Humans often lose themselves in what they witness. Alex nodded, feeling the weight of her words. He focused on the lessons rather than the emotions, trying to absorb what he could without being overwhelmed. He saw courage in the face of danger, friendship that crossed species, and mistakes that cost lives. Each image seemed to teach something important about survival and understanding. Why are you helping me? Alex asked suddenly. He'd been curious from the start, but now he felt a deeper need to understand Nira's motivations. Nira turned to him, her glowing eyes meeting his. I am curious about humans, she said. Most I encounter are weak, afraid, or foolish. You are none of these, but you are reckless. That makes you unusual. Helping you allows me to understand your kind, and perhaps it also keeps you alive.
Alex smiled slightly.
I suppose we both benefit then, yes, Nira said softly. But remember, curiosity and understanding are not enough. You must respect the planet, its rules, and its warnings. Many have ignored them and paid the price. Alex felt a thrill run through him. The danger was real, but it was also exhilarating. Every step he took, every lesson he learned, made him feel alive in a way nothing else had. He was not just exploring a planet. He was learning about life, survival, and the strength of spirit. They continued through the chamber, moving toward another doorway that led deeper into the cave system. The air grew warmer here, and faint sounds echoed around them, like whispers carried on the wind. Alex felt a shiver of anticipation. This is where the real test begins, Nira said, her voice low and calm. The planet will now challenge not only your mind, but your courage. Be ready, Alex. You may face creatures, puzzles, or situations that push you to your limits. Many fail here, but those who succeed learn lessons that last a lifetime. Alex nodded, feeling a mixture of excitement and respect. He trusted Nira, but he knew the journey ahead would not be easy. He felt the pull of the unknown, the thrill of discovery, and a growing sense that he was part of something far larger than himself. Nira glanced at him, her expression unreadable, but her eyes glowing softly. You are ready, she said. But remember, mistakes here are not forgiven lightly. The planet watches, and it responds to all who enter. Do not underestimate it, and do not underestimate yourself. Courage and understanding are your greatest weapons. Alex took a deep breath, feeling the weight of her words. He had always sought adventure, knowledge, and understanding. But now he realized the true challenge was not just surviving the planet, but learning from it, respecting it, and facing his own fears together. They stepped through the doorway, moving deeper into the unknown. Alex's heart raced, not with fear, but with anticipation. He was ready to face whatever the planet had in store, and he knew that with Nira by his side, he had a chance to succeed where others had failed. For the first time, Alex understood that curiosity alone was not enough. Respect, courage, and understanding were what mattered most. And in this strange, glowing cave, he felt the first true test of all three. The cave opened into a vast chamber, larger than anything Alex had imagined. Its ceiling arched high above, dotted with glowing crystals that cast a pale silver light across the stone floor. The air was cooler here, and a soft hum seemed to echo from the walls, vibrating through his chest. The sense of anticipation was almost tangible. Alex glanced at Nira. Her glowing red eyes scanned the chamber carefully. She moved with confidence, each step deliberate and silent, as though she were reading the room in a language only she could understand. Alex followed closely, his curiosity mixed with a growing sense of caution. "This place is different," Alex said, his voice low. "I can feel something." Watching. Nira's eyes narrowed. The planet tests all who enter its deeper chambers. Sometimes the threat is not obvious. Sometimes it comes from what you fear or what you desire. Stay close to me and trust your instincts. They walked deeper into the chamber, and Alex noticed movement along the edges of the light. Shadows shifted, but there was no wind to move them. He froze, his mind racing. "What is that?" he whispered. Nira's eyes glowed brighter. "Patience," she said. "Do not react until you understand." Suddenly, from the shadows, shapes emerged. They were alien creatures, tall and lean, with dark, smooth skin that reflected the crystal light. Their eyes glowed faintly, and their movements were quick and precise. Alex felt a shiver run down his spine. He had encountered dangerous creatures before, but these were unlike anything he had imagined. "Stay behind me," Nira commanded. Her voice was calm but firm. "These creatures are territorial. They will test us before attacking. Do not make sudden movements." Alex nodded, his heart pounding, and stayed close to her side. He watched as the creatures circled them, their movements fluid and calculated. One stepped forward, tilting its head as though studying them. "They can sense fear," Nira said quietly. "Stay calm. That is your advantage." Alex focused on his breathing, trying to steady his racing heart. The creatures made no sound other than the soft hum of the chamber, but their presence was overwhelming. Alex realized that the planet's warnings had not been exaggeration. He had felt danger before, but this was different. This was intelligent, calculated, and patient. One of the creatures lunged suddenly, moving with incredible speed. Alex barely had time to react as Nira stepped in front of him. Her movements were precise and swift. She struck the creature with a force that seemed almost impossible, sending it staggering backward. Alex's eyes widened. He had never seen strength like this in any being before. "They are fast," Alex said, catching his breath. "How do we fight them?" Nira glanced at him, her expression calm but serious. "We do not fight them with force alone. Observe, anticipate, and act with purpose. The planet rewards understanding as much as strength." The creatures attacked again, moving in coordinated patterns. Alex noticed that they were not mindless. Each strike, each movement was part of a strategy. He realized that Nira had been right. Curiosity alone would not save him. He had to think, to anticipate, to learn. Alex tried to mimic her movements, stepping carefully, dodging when the creatures lunged. He watched their patterns, noting how they responded to Nira's attacks. Slowly, he began to understand. The creatures attacked in waves, testing both their strength and their patience. "You are learning quickly," Nira said, her voice calm as she parried another strike. "But do not be reckless. One mistake could be fatal." Alex nodded, focusing on the rhythm of the creature's movements. He began to anticipate their attacks, stepping aside just before a strike landed, using their momentum against them. The creatures hissed softly, but did not retreat. Hours seemed to pass as they navigated the chamber. dodging, observing, and countering attacks. Alex could feel his muscles ache, his heart race, but he also felt exhilaration. He had never faced a challenge like this. Every sense was alert, every thought focused. He realized that this was more than survival. This was learning. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the creatures paused. They regarded Alex and Nero with something that seemed almost like respect. Slowly, they retreated into the shadows. Disappearing as silently as they had appeared, Alex sank to the ground, breathing heavily. That was incredible, he said, still amazed by what he had experienced. Nero watched him carefully. You survived because you observed and adapted. Many humans would have panicked or charged blindly. You did neither. That is why you live. Alex smiled, exhausted but exhilarated. I am learning from you, he said, and from them. I understand a little more now. Nero's eyes softened slightly. You are learning quickly. But remember, this is only the beginning. The deeper chambers will test not only your strength and intelligence, but your heart. The planet watches all emotions, not just actions. Courage, fear, compassion, and even curiosity are measured. Some fail because they lack balance. Alex nodded, his excitement mixing with determination. He realized that the creatures were not just enemies. They were part of the planet's way of teaching. He had survived, but he had also learned. They continued deeper into the chamber, moving toward a narrow passage that led to a glowing pool of water. The pool emitted a faint light that illuminated the walls, revealing more carvings. Alex approached it cautiously, noticing how the light seemed to react to his presence. This pool shows more than reflection, Nero said. It reveals intentions and truths. Look carefully, and you may see not only yourself, but the path you are choosing. Alex knelt beside the water, gazing into its surface. At first, he saw only his reflection, but slowly, the image shifted, revealing moments from his past. He saw choices he had made, risks he had taken, and moments where his curiosity had led him into danger. He saw both successes and failures, victories and mistakes. This is incredible, he whispered. It shows everything. Nero knelt beside him, her fingers brushing the surface. The planet remembers. It does not forgive ignorance, but it also teaches those who are willing to learn. What you see here is a warning and a guide. Learn from it, or the next challenge may not be so forgiving. Alex studied the images carefully, understanding the lessons hidden within them. He saw that courage without caution led to failure, that curiosity without understanding could be dangerous. And that strength alone was not enough to survive. He looked at Nero. I understand now. It is not just about fighting or exploring. It is about learning, observing, and respecting the world around me. Nero nodded. Exactly. The planet is alive in ways humans rarely comprehend. It tests mind, body, and spirit. You survived the first threat because you were willing to observe and adapt, but the challenges ahead will require more. They will test your heart as much as your strength. Alex felt a surge of determination. He had faced danger, learned from it, and survived. But he knew that the deeper chambers would be even more difficult. He was ready not only to face the challenges, but to learn from them. As they moved toward the pool's edge, sudden movement caught Alex's eye. From the shadows, a new creature appeared, larger and more imposing than the first. Its eyes glowed with an eerie light. Its movements were deliberate and powerful. Nero placed herself between Alex and the creature. This is the next test, she said. It will challenge not only your courage, but your trust. Watch carefully and follow my lead. Hesitation or fear can be deadly. Alex nodded, feeling both fear and excitement. He knew this was more than a fight. It was a lesson, a challenge, and an opportunity to prove himself. The creature lunged, and Nero moved with incredible speed, countering its attacks with precision. Alex followed her movements, noting the patterns and timing. He began to act in coordination with her, dodging and observing, learning from each strike. Hours passed as they faced the creature. Alex's muscles ached, his mind raced, but he felt alive in a way he had never experienced. Every attack, every observation was a lesson, Every movement was a test. Finally, after an exhausting struggle, the creature paused. It regarded Alex and Nira for a moment, then retreated into the shadows. Alex sank to the ground, breathing heavily. "You survived," Nira said softly. "And you learned. That is why you live. Most would have fallen by now." Alex smiled, exhausted but exhilarated. "I understand more now. I am learning from you and from this place." Nira's eyes softened. "Good, but remember, the planet's tests are ongoing. This is only the beginning. The deeper you go, the more you will face. Strength, courage, and understanding will be your allies, but so will trust and patience. Do not forget either." Alex nodded, feeling a mixture of respect and excitement. He was ready for whatever the planet had in store next, together. They moved toward the next passage, deeper into the unknown, knowing that the challenges ahead would be even greater. And that survival required not just strength, but wisdom, courage, and heart. After the exhausting encounter with the creatures in the chamber, Alex and Nira moved deeper into the cave system. The passage narrowed, and the glowing crystals above cast a soft, warm light on the walls. The air was still and cool, carrying a faint scent of minerals and something almost floral. Alex could feel the weight of the planet's presence more strongly here, as if the walls themselves were observing their every movement. "This place feels different," Alex said, glancing around. "It is quieter, but I can sense something waiting." "The deeper chambers reveal truths," she said. "Some truths about the planet, and some truths about yourselves. Many who reach this point are tested not by creatures, but by the choices they make, and by what they carry in their hearts." Alex frowned slightly. "Choices? What kind of choices?" "Choices of trust, courage, and loyalty," Nira replied. "The planet sees more than actions. It senses intentions. Fear, doubt, and hidden desires are visible here. Those who cannot control them fail." Alex nodded, understanding that the challenges ahead were not only physical, they were mental, emotional, and spiritual. He had survived attacks and navigated dangerous terrain, but he now realized the next stage would test the core of who he was. As they turned a corner, they entered a large chamber filled with a soft, glowing mist. The mist swirled around them like living smoke, shifting colors and patterns as it moved. Alex could barely see the far walls, but faint images appeared within the mist shapes that looked almost like people, some humanoid, some not. "What is this?" Alex asked, raising his hand as the mist brushed against his fingers. It felt cool and soft, almost alive. "The Chamber of Memories," Nira said. "This is where the planet reveals truths about your heart and spirit. It will show you visions that are real and possible, but also visions that are fears, doubts, or mistakes. Some who enter are overwhelmed and cannot leave." Alex swallowed. He had faced danger before, but this was different. He felt exposed in a way he had never experienced. The mist seemed to respond to his emotions, swirling more actively around him whenever he felt uncertainty or hesitation. "Stay calm," Nira instructed. "Do not let the mist control you. Observe it, understand it, and remember your purpose. You are here to learn, not to fear." Alex took a deep breath, focusing on his determination. Slowly, he began to notice patterns in the mist. Images formed of his life, back on Earth, moments of joy, failure, and courage. He saw his family, friends, and the small victories that had shaped him. Then the images shifted to the future, showing paths he could take, challenges he might face, and dangers that awaited him. "This is incredible," Alex whispered. "It shows possibilities, not just memories." "Yes," Nira said, her eyes glowing softly. "The planet reveals what is important to you. It tests not only your courage, but your honesty with yourself. Humans often fail here because they refuse to confront their true desires and fears." Alex focused on a particular image in the mist. He saw himself walking alone on a distant world, facing danger and yet surviving. But alongside him was a figure, a tall, strong presence with glowing eyes. His heart skipped a beat when he recognized Nira in the vision. "Why? Why is she there?" he asked quietly, almost to himself, Nira glanced at him, her expression calm but intense. Because you trust her, she said. The planet knows your choices are influenced by those you care for and by those you trust. Your bond with others will be tested. Humans often underestimate the power of connection, yet it can be the difference between survival and failure. Alex felt a mixture of awe and nervousness. He had never considered how deeply he could connect with an alien being, yet here he was. Realizing that his trust in Nira mattered more than he had expected, the mist shifted again, showing scenes from Nira's life. He saw her moving gracefully through forests, hunting and surviving, and then standing alone, observing creatures and ruins. Alex saw strength, independence, and intelligence, but also a quiet loneliness. He realized that Nira's life was not easy. She had faced challenges that humans could barely imagine, and yet she had survived. You are strong, Alex said softly. I can see why you survive here. Nira's eyes glowed faintly brighter, but her expression softened. Strength alone does not guarantee survival, she said. Understanding, patience, and compassion are just as important. I have learned to trust some, but not all. Humans are unpredictable. That makes you interesting and dangerous. Alex smiled slightly, feeling the pull of her words. I guess I am unpredictable then, Nira said softly. And that unpredictability can save you or lead you to harm. You must learn to balance it with caution. The mist continued to swirl, showing visions of the creatures they had encountered in the earlier chambers. Alex saw the attacks, the patterns, and the lessons hidden within each encounter. He realized that the planet had been teaching him all along, testing him not just physically, but mentally. Each challenge had prepared him for this moment. You see now, Nira said, that survival is not only about strength. It is about observation, understanding, and adaptation. The planet rewards those who learn and punishes those who ignore its lessons. Alex nodded. I understand. I have learned from every step, every attack, and every vision. Nira led him to the center of the chamber where a faint glow marked the outline of a circular platform. She gestured for him to stand on it. Step forward, she said. This platform will reveal more than the mist. It will show the truths you carry inside you. Are you ready? Alex took a deep breath and stepped onto the platform. The mist thickened around him, swirling faster, brighter, almost like it had a life of its own. He closed his eyes and focused, trying to remain calm and clear-headed. Suddenly, the mist parted, and Alex saw a vision unlike anything before. He saw himself facing impossible odds, alone in a dark place, yet refusing to give up. He saw courage, determination, and the will to survive shining through. Even when everything seemed hopeless, then the vision shifted to Nira. Standing beside him in the darkness, her eyes glowing as she guided him through danger. He felt a strange warmth in his chest, a connection that went beyond words. It was not fear, desire, or simple trust. It was a bond, a recognition that they were stronger together than apart. You see now, Nira said, her voice echoing in the chamber, that trust is not weakness. Connection is not danger. It is strength. Humans often underestimate the power of bonds, but they are essential here. You survive because you trust, because you learn, and because you care. Alex nodded, feeling the truth of her words. I see it, he said. I understand. I will not forget this. The mist slowly receded, revealing the chamber once more. Alex felt a sense of clarity and purpose he had not felt before. He realized that the challenges they faced were not only about surviving the planet, but about understanding themselves and each other. Nair studied him quietly. You have learned well, she said. But the journey is not over. The deeper chambers will test you in ways you cannot yet imagine. The planet's lessons are ongoing, and each step requires courage, understanding, and the willingness to face truths about yourself and others. Alex smiled, feeling a mix of determination and anticipation. I am ready, he said. I will face whatever comes next, and I will learn from it. Nira's eyes glowed softly, a rare sign of approval. Good, she said. But remember, the strongest test is yet to come. It will challenge not only your mind and body, but your heart. You must be prepared for that. Alex felt a thrill run through him. He had faced creatures, learned the lessons of the planet, and discovered truths about himself and Nira. But he knew the next challenge would be different. It would be personal, emotional, and demanding. He was ready to face it, knowing that survival depended not only on skill, but on trust, understanding, and connection. Together, they left the Chamber of Memories, moving toward the next passage deeper into the cave system. The glowing crystals illuminated their path, and Alex felt a growing sense of purpose. He was not just exploring a planet. He was learning, growing, discovering the strength of human spirit in a world that demanded courage, wisdom, and heart. Nira moved beside him, her presence steady and reassuring. Alex realized that their bond had grown stronger, not only because of trust, but because of shared experiences, lessons learned, and the challenges they had faced together. He understood that the journey ahead would require even more courage, but he felt ready. As they ventured further into the unknown, Alex knew one truth above all: the lessons of the planet were not only about survival. They were about understanding oneself, trusting others, and discovering the power of connection in a world that tested everything. And in that moment, he felt that whatever challenges awaited them, he would not face them alone. Alex and Nira moved deeper into the cave system, the glow from the crystals illuminating their path with soft, shifting light. The air was heavier here, filled with the quiet hum of energy that seemed almost alive. Alex could feel the weight of the planet pressing around them, as if it were aware of every step they took. "This is it," Nira said, her voice low and steady. Her eyes glowed softly, reflecting determination and caution. "Beyond this point, the planet will test not only your strength and courage, but your choices. You must decide what matters most." Alex nodded, feeling the gravity of her words. He had survived creatures, learned lessons in the Chamber of Memories, and discovered truths about himself and Nira. But he knew that the ultimate challenge lay ahead. This was no longer about survival alone. It was about who he was and what he was willing to risk. The passage opened into a vast chamber, larger than any they had seen. The walls shimmered with energy, and in the center of the room was a glowing pedestal. Alex could feel its power from where he stood. It pulsed with a rhythm that matched his own heartbeat, drawing him closer. "What is that?" Alex asked, stepping carefully. "That is the heart of the planet," Nira said. "It holds the ultimate truth of this place. It will reveal the path you must choose. Many have come here seeking power, knowledge, or glory, but the heart does not grant such things lightly. It tests the heart, the mind, and the spirit. Your choice here will determine your fate." Alex felt a mixture of awe and nervousness. He had faced incredible challenges, but nothing like this. The energy radiating from the heart was intense, yet strangely calming. He could sense it reaching into his thoughts, searching for honesty, courage, and purpose. Nira stepped beside him. "I will guide you, but you must make the choice yourself. Trust your instincts and trust what you have learned." Alex took a deep breath, focusing on everything he had experienced so far. He thought of the creatures, the lessons in the Chamber of Memories, and the bond he had formed with Nira. He realized that survival alone was not enough. He wanted understanding, connection, and meaning. As he approached the heart, the energy seemed to respond to him. Faint images appeared in the glowing light, showing two paths. One path led back to his life as a human, to safety, comfort, and the familiar world he had known. The other path led further into the unknown, alongside Nira, facing danger, adventure, and uncertainty. Alex paused, feeling the weight of the choice. The path back would be safe, but it would mean leaving behind everything he had learned, and the connection he had formed with Nira. The other path was dangerous, unpredictable, and filled with challenges, but it promised growth, discovery, and a bond that he could not ignore. He looked at Nira, who watched him silently. Her glowing eyes seemed to reflect his own thoughts, her presence steady and reassuring. He realized that she had trusted him to make this decision, just as she had trusted him in every challenge they had faced together. "I understand now," Alex said quietly. The choice is not about safety or danger. It is about what I value and what I am willing to risk for it. Nira nodded. Exactly. The heart of the planet responds to truth, not desire. You must decide what matters most and act with honesty and courage. Alex took a step closer to the glowing pedestal. The energy swirled around him, revealing visions of his life as a human, the people he cared for, and the comforts he would leave behind. Then the vision shifted to Nira, guiding him through dangers, sharing knowledge, and standing beside him as an equal. He could feel the bond between them, stronger than fear, stronger than uncertainty. I choose the unknown, Alex said finally, his voice steady. I choose to face the challenges, and I choose to face them with her. The heart of the planet pulsed brighter, responding to his decision. The energy wrapped around him, filling him with a warmth that was both comforting and empowering. Alex could feel the lessons of the planet embedding themselves into his mind and spirit. He understood courage, patience, trust, and connection in a way he never had before. Nira's eyes glowed brightly, a rare smile touching her lips. You have made the right choice, she said. Most would choose safety, but you have chosen growth, understanding, and connection. That is why you survive, and that is why you thrive. Suddenly, the chamber shook. The walls vibrated with energy, and a low hum filled the space. Alex and Nira held their ground as the heart's energy surged around them. The platform beneath them glowed, forming patterns that seemed to tell a story. Alex realized that the planet was acknowledging his choice, rewarding his courage and honesty. This is incredible, Alex whispered. I can feel it changing me, yes, Nira said. The heart gives power not to dominate, but to understand, to grow, and to survive. You have proven your worth. The energy slowly receded, leaving the chamber calm once more. Alex felt a sense of clarity and purpose he had never known. He understood that the challenges they had faced were not random. Every creature, every vision, every lesson had prepared him for this moment. He had learned the value of observation, understanding, courage, and trust. He turned to Nira. Thank you, he said, for guiding me, for trusting me, and for showing me the lessons of this place. What? Nira smiled softly. You did not need my guidance alone. You learned from the planet, from the challenges, and from yourself. I merely walked beside you. The true lesson is that survival and growth require understanding, courage, and connection. Alex felt a warmth in his chest, a sense of accomplishment and belonging. He had faced danger, learned lessons, and made choices that defined him. But most importantly, he had formed a bond with Nira, a connection that transcended fear, uncertainty, and even species. What now? Alex asked, curiosity and determination in his voice. Now we continue, Nira said. The path ahead is still uncertain, but you are ready. You have proven your courage, your understanding, and your willingness to embrace the unknown. Together, we will explore what lies beyond and face whatever challenges the planet presents. Alex nodded. He knew that the journey would not be easy, but he felt prepared. He had learned that survival was not only about strength, but about understanding, patience, trust, and the courage to face the unknown as they moved deeper into the cave system. The glow of the crystals illuminating their path, Alex felt a sense of exhilaration. He had faced incredible challenges, discovered truths about himself and Nira, and chosen a path of growth, understanding, and connection. He was no longer simply a human exploring a strange planet. He was a survivor, a learner, and a companion. Nira walked beside him, her presence steady and reassuring. Alex realized that their bond had grown stronger with every challenge, every lesson, and every choice. He understood that this connection was not just important for survival, but for understanding the true value of courage, trust, and companionship. The cave opened into another chamber, this one filled with soft light and flowing water. Strange plants glowed along the edges, and the air was filled with the sound of distant waterfalls. Alex felt a sense of peace, a rare moment of calm after the trials they had faced. This is a place to rest, Nira said. Not for long, but long enough to reflect on what you have learned. The planet has tested you, and you have responded with courage and understanding. Remember these lessons, for they will guide you in the challenges ahead. Alex sat by the water, gazing at the reflections in the glow of the plants. He thought of the creatures they had faced, the lessons in the chamber of memories, and the bond he had formed with Nira. Every challenge had taught him something important, and every choice had shaped him into someone stronger, wiser, and more aware of the power of connection. "I never imagined a planet could teach so much," Alex said softly. "It is incredible and dangerous and alive in a way I never understood." Nira nodded. "It is. The planet tests all who enter, but those who learn, adapt, and connect will find not only survival, but understanding, strength, and growth." "You have done well, Alex." Alex smiled, feeling a sense of pride and accomplishment. "I will continue to learn," he said. "I will face whatever comes next, and I will do it with courage and understanding." Nira's eyes glowed softly. "Good. That is the path of those who thrive. The planet will continue to test you, but you are no longer unprepared. You have learned the lessons of observation, understanding, courage, trust, and connection. That is why you survive." Alex stood, feeling renewed determination. He had chosen the unknown, embraced the challenges, and formed a bond that transcended fear and uncertainty. He was ready to face whatever lay ahead, knowing that growth and understanding were more important than safety, and that courage and connection were the greatest strengths of all. Together, Alex and Nira left the glowing chamber, moving deeper into the planet's mysteries. The path ahead was uncertain, filled with challenges and dangers, but Alex felt ready. He had learned that survival was not only about strength, but about understanding, courage, and trust. As they walked side by side, Alex glanced at Nira and smiled. She returned the smile, a rare moment of warmth and connection. He realized that the journey had changed him, teaching him lessons he would carry for the rest of his life, whatever challenges awaited them. He knew one thing for certain: he would face them not alone, but with courage, understanding, and the bond he had formed with Nira. And in that bond, he found strength.